There is excitement in the air whenever the balls are bouncing in Rupp Arena. Tonight we will have double the excitement. 2 games for the price of 1. It's a Guardians Classic twin bill. Day 2 of the Guardians Classic, Lexington Regional getting ready to tip off. The Bears of Northern Colorado taking on an old rival, the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. This is how the Lexington Regional is shaking down. Lipscomb and the Kentucky Wildcats, well, they were winners in round 1. They will meet a bit later on in tonight's regional final. Hello, everyone, and we welcome you to Lexington, Kentucky. Alongside Larry Conley, I am Eric Collins. And in the world of basketball, things don't say the same. Just 3 years ago, these two teams met, Northern Colorado and South Dakota State. At the time, they were both Division II teams, and they both were members of the North Central Conference. Now they're both Division I, and they're playing here at historic Rupp Arena.
And you know, Eric, I think both of these coaches with some expectations about how their two teams are going to play tonight, because they were both disappointed with the way they came out here. Maybe some first-game jitters.
Well, one guy who didn't have jitters for South Dakota State was Ben Barron. He was terrific.
Ben Barron was great last night. 25 points against number 10 Kentucky. He got it everywhere. Nice turn on the inside right here. Reception of the pass and the finish down inside. The mid-range jumper from 12 feet on the baseline. And then the face-up on the outside, turning and looking at the basket. He was spectacular last night. And on the other side, Kirk Archibald was equally as good. Not in the first half, he really struggled. But the second half, the lane was his playground. He was all over the place, had a good second half, a double-double, got most of them on the inside. They expect more of that tonight, and they'll need it against a club that they want to beat badly to walk away 1-1.
Northern Colorado, South Dakota State, both looking for win number 1 on the season. Here are the starting lineups. Archibald, Olson, Burden, they comprise the front line for Northern Colorado. Klein and Tybee are in the backcourt. Tybee was pretty darn good yesterday with 20 points on 6 of 8 shooting. For South Dakota State, 3 new starters today. Loney, Barron, they are the front line, and 3 guards will start. Mackenzie Casey, Matt Cadwell, and Andy Kleinjohn, who didn't play at all yesterday against Kentucky. He is now in the starting lineup.
Scott Nagy told us, he said, we have some attitude adjustments to go through, and I think it's indicative of the different lineup he's got. Here we go. South Dakota State's got it. Here we play.
Mackenzie Casey, one of those new starters with the ball up high. He's being guarded by Matt Klein.
Northern Colorado opens up in a man-to-man defense. I thought both of these clubs played awfully good defense last time, particularly their man-to-man.
Another one of those new starters. Loney misses inside, ball tapped out, and on the run out, here comes Klein and the Bears of Northern Colorado. Good pass inside, and Tybee keeps on keeping on.
How about Matt Klein? Was that a gorgeous pass? I mean, turn around, look for somebody trailing. He did, and got the easy basket.
Interior pass, Barron has it, turns around, has the ball swatted away. Another one is rejected, and finally cleared by Archibald. 2 blocks on the inside.
Good start for Northern Colorado.
Swinging it along the perimeter. Getting inside, Olson picks up his dribble. Bounces it to Burden. Left-handed shot up and in.
Well, Dwayne Burden struggled from the field last night. 3 for 12 against Lipscomb. A good start for him tonight.
Kleinjohn over to Casey. Swinging over to Cadwell. The freshman down low to Loney. Loney, head and shoulder fake. A little too strong with the layup. Another rebound for Archibald.
Northern Colorado in transition early. They're moving the ball up and down the floor. They want to get in position, get some easy baskets. They've already got 1.
Coming off a curl. Catch, shoot, no good. Missed by Tybee. 4-0 early. Northern Colorado on top of South Dakota State. Loney has it. Picks up his dribble. Cadwell right side. Cut off. And they're going to blow the whistle, and we're going to have a traveling violation moving the steps for Cadwell. There's Craig Rasmussen, now in his 7th season with Northern Colorado, 58 and 106. He has had a difficult job over the last couple of years as Northern Colorado has tried to make the transition from Division II to Division I. Also making the transition from Division II to Division I is Scott Nagy, now in his 11th season at South Dakota State. They are now currently in the 2nd year of their transition to a Division I program. Not as easy as it sounds.
No, and as they climb the ladder and they get more position to play and recruit better players, both of these programs are going to show marked improvement.
Inside, Burton loses it, goes off of his knee. Turnover gives the ball back over.
Eric, I was visiting with Craig Rasmussen before the game, and I asked him what he thought about his team's performance after 24 hours of thinking about it. His one word he kept using over and over was lethargic. He said he just didn't feel like they played very well. They seemed like they were in another zone somewhere.
They ran into a buzzsaw. Northern Colorado played a Lipscomb team that was very physical, very quick, and in the long run, very good. They beat them 72-60 last night.
In the Guardians Classic, like many other games you're going to see in November and December, you're going to see some experimental rules. The three-point line is extended to 20 feet 9 inches. Originally, it's 19.9. Free throw lane is widened by 1 foot on each side. And the charging is the restricted arc under the basket you see in your screen right there. If you are back inside there and a player runs over you and you're inside that line, that is not going to be a charging foul. They will not call it, much like the NBA has presently in their rules.
Barron misses a jump shot, left side. Which one of those rules how many of those rules do you think have a chance to be kind of instituted in the next couple of years as permanent rule changes?
I think the Rules Committee is really interested in moving the three-point line out to that 20 feet 9 inches, and I think probably it is the international distance, and that's the distance I think they really ought to go to. I happen to like the inside arch myself. I think it really takes away from guys not playing defense, just trying to look for a charge.
Cadwell shoots in transition, can't get it. Barron had it, has it stripped away and off of his thigh, out of bounds. Tough break for South Dakota State. The Bears of Northern Colorado have the basketball back.
Very good hands by Sean Tybee that time. Reached in there, a little bit of Houdini, quick hands. Got him right off of the knee that time of Ben Barron.
Shooting has been a problem for South Dakota State, coming out of the shoot in both games. Yesterday, they were just 1 for 17 to begin the game. They haven't made a field goal so far this evening against Northern Colorado. Mohamed Berthe up hop, swings it to Kleinjohn. Looking to get it to Barron, trying to get on track. Good head and shoulder fake, but the left-handed layup too strong, goes out of bounds. Back over to the Bears.
Eric, I know how frustrating that is for a coach. I mean, I sit there and I look at Scott Nagy, and I know he is frustrated by the way that they have gotten out of the gate in both of these games. I mean, they can't make a basket here. What is that, 0 for 7 now they have in their field goal attempts so far. As you indicated earlier, they were just as poor last night starting out.
Up high, jump shot off the mark. That's Michael Gordy, who's just checked in his first shot attempt. And a wild pass. Matt Klein thought he saw something and passes to no one in particular. Ball goes out of bounds, and we'll have our first timeout. 15:52 remaining first half. Craig Rasmussen's team, they are on top 4-0 over South Dakota State. ESPNU's coverage of the Guardians Classic is brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Great service, great rates. That's why 40 million drivers trust State Farm. Just getting started here. Consolation game of the Lexington Regional Guardians Classic. South Dakota State on top, or losing against Northern Colorado early 4-0. In case you're wondering, South Dakota State located in Brookings, South Dakota, about 50 miles north of Sioux Falls. It has got an enrollment of 11,000 and change. They are currently an independent after playing for a number of years as a Division II school. They're trying to get to Division I. This is just the second year of their transition. And Scott Nagy, he has been on the sideline for South Dakota State for 11 seasons, and he hasn't been happy with his team's play over the last day and a half.
Yeah, I was watching him at the shoot-around today, and I walked over to Scott, and I said, I want to tell you something. And I said, I thought for 30 minutes last night, your club played very, very hard against a very good Kentucky team. He says, let me tell you something. He says, I was so frustrated last night. He says, I wanted them to get off to a good start, and he said they played so frantic and so erratic. He says, the first time out, I got him into the huddle, and he said, I didn't say anything for 10 seconds, finally looked at him, and I said, calm down. He said, just calm down. He said, I just couldn't get them under control. He said, I couldn't even get my first play run the way I wanted it until 10 minutes left in the second half. And he says, but it'll be better tonight. He says, we got the rest of the season to work on. Now we've got that opening game out of the way.
Well, whether or not it has been better or not tonight is up for debate. They haven't scored so far. Holdren has just checked in for South Dakota State. And every time he has the basketball, you can tell they give him the business around here. He was involved in a takedown of a Kentucky player yesterday, and Kentucky fans remember a day later.
Got to tell you something, Michael Gordy just had a good defensive block down on the other side for Northern Colorado.
Trying to get it to Archibek, ball stripped away, taken back by Klein. Archibek has it, makes a move, left-handed shot off the window and in.
Hard to believe the South Dakota State now has been shut out for 5 minutes.
In transition, Matt Cadwell goes to the basket and he is fouled. In case you weren't with us last night, right here on ESPNU, this is the reason why the fans not too pleased with Steve Holdren. Battling for a loose ball, and Holdren with a takedown. That was of Raquelin Sims, and Sims came up a little bit upset. The fans upset Steve Holdren.
I think he was a little frustrated last night because he was only 2 for 11 from the field, and he was struggling. And oftentimes you take it out on your opponent. Maybe not so much in a very Rusk manner, but maybe in a different way.
Holdren started yesterday coming off the bench. In today's matchup, Andre Gilbert has just checked in for the first time. And after a couple of free throws, South Dakota State finally on the scoreboard. Took a while. They've got 2. Archibek has it, flips it back out. Olsen, dribble drive, over to Gordy. Gordy can't find it. Ball loose, battle for it, picked up by the Bears. Archibek steps out. That's the first jump shot he's hit in 2 days.
Well, I indicated early on when we were talking about these two clubs, Archibek really got it done inside last night. Almost every basket he had was within about 3 feet of the basket. As you said, the first time we've seen him really go outside about 10 feet and really shoot the basketball. Nice range. He's got it out there, and it looked good when he released it.
Head and shoulder fake. Holdren gets it over to Barron. Spins along the baseline and comes up short with the layup. Gets it back, in trouble, spits it out. Holdren for 3, and he knocks it home.
Off the snide.
Don't know if that's going to silence the crowd.
Almost 6 minutes into the game before they get their first basket.
Tybee gets inside, tries to flip it over. Ball gets away from Archibek. Here comes Holdren on the break. Over to Cadwell. He is fouled, and he will go to the free throw line. Took a while with South Dakota State, finally with their first bucket.
Yeah, Northern Colorado was pitching a shutout until this one right here. This possession by South Dakota State. Kicked the ball out, and pretty good shot there by Holdren. It's only his 3rd field goal so far in these 2 nights, as he only had 2 last night. But that was a big one to get them started.
So Matt Cadwell at the free throw line. He is from St. Paul. He is from a fantastic high school in terms of athletics. He's from Creek-Durham Hall High School in St. Paul. Guys like Paul Mullen played there. Chris Winkie, who won a Heisman Trophy, went there. Steve Walsh, who was a fantastic quarterback at the University of Miami, went there. Joe Mauer, catcher for the Minnesota Twins, went to that high school.
You are just a wealth of information.
But Cadwell is the all-time leading scorer at that high school on the basketball floor. So he can hold his head up high when he walks through the halls of his alma mater. 1-point game. South Dakota State showing some resolve, getting back into it, now trying to throw some D out there. And they force Archibek into a turnover. He double dribbles.
Well, South Dakota State got their defense rolling that time. They double-teamed, even triple-teamed Archibek in the middle that time to get the ball back when he double-dribbled. Good defensive work. Sometimes your defense will lead your offense. It will initiate your offense anyway. That time they got the turnover. Let's see if they can do something with it.
Berthe over to Loney. Cadwell looks down low.
Nice cuts.
Holdren trying to make 2 in a row, and he does.
Well, they ran their offense to perfection that time. 4 good cuts, and they came off of the screen. Holdren was wide open.
Gordy wants it down low. Archibek, another elbow jumper. Little strong this time, cleared by Berthe and the Jackrabbits. Andre Gilbert, he has got some astonishing hops when he's able to get a little bit of space. We saw it last night. He had 2 rim-rattling dunks.
Yeah, the pace of the game has picked up a little bit now. South Dakota State, since they've gotten that first basket from Holdren, looks a little bit more confident. You know, confidence is contagious. I mean, if one guy gets it, all of a sudden everybody else will start to get it. It's the same way with a team. I mean, when they start feeling good about what they're doing on one end of the floor, it usually translates pretty well to the other end.
Eric Olson just checked back into the game for Northern Colorado. Holdren has made 2 in a row, this time from deep. 3 in a row. That one from about 26 feet away.
Where were those last night?
Those boos have woken him up. Don't go tugging on Superman's cape, he says.
Good screen, good switch.
Northern Colorado a little bit stunned right now. Can't blame them. Darren Jeffries, baseline shot, comes up short. Loney the rebound.
That looks like a shot put. He threw that one from his shoulder.
3-point field goals. How about that? Holdren, 3 for 3. Northern Colorado, they've yet to scratch from outside the arc. Gilbert may have been pushed on his way to the basket. Foul's call. It is indeed going to go against Northern Colorado.
No, it took a little while for the Jackrabbits to get on track, but their offense really is clicking now. They're very sharp with their cuts. They're utilizing their screens, good timing. The ball is moving well. That's what happens. All you need is one basket to get things rolling for you.
Oh my! Gilbert with the alley-oop, and
he
just
gave us
a little bit shy.
Last night that were big.
Jeffries spins to the lane and throws it a little bit too strong off the glass, and Gilbert still down in pain underneath his basket. We will see if he is okay and take a timeout while we do so. 11:55 remaining, first half. Andre Gilbert and the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State on top by 5. South Dakota State, they've been on quite a run. They now lead Northern Colorado 13-8. 11:55 remaining first half. As a team, South Dakota State 0 for 10, except for Steve Holdren. He is 3 for 3 from behind the arc.
Here's one of them right here. This was the first one that got South Dakota State rolling. Here's his second one coming off of that screen. You like 2? We'll give you 3. Well, all 3 of those shots looked really good when they left the hands, and they all ended up at the bottom of the net, and only 2 players have scored so far for South Dakota State.
Now, Holdren's got 9, and Matt Cadwell, he has 4 on 4 free throws. Now, Holdren didn't start today, but he probably is still near and dear to his head coach, Scott Nagy. He is from Champaign, Illinois, played at Centennial High School. That is the alma mater of Scott Nagy, who played there back in the early 80s. So you can't stay mad at a guy who went to your same high school for too long. At the free throw line, that's Darren Jeffries. He had 8 points and 5 assists yesterday in the loss against Lipscomb. And there's Andre Gilbert, obviously in pain, holding that left hip.
I tell you, they need him back in the lineup. I mean, the guy is electric. He really is. I mean, he flies down the floor. You talk about hops. He can really fly through the air.
2 free throws made by Jeffries.
You were talking a few minutes ago about Jeffries. He had a terrific game, a very quiet, good game last night off of the bench.
Michael Gordy, sophomore from Denver, called for that personal foul, his first. For Northern Colorado, they now have 5 fouls as a team. Interior pass to Berthe. Gets loose and makes the bucket.
Nice feed that time, inside.
That's the first field goal made by the Jackrabbits by someone not named Holdren.
Jose Frias with a nice pass. Good double down.
Gordy, nowhere to go. Gets it out to Jeffries. Shot along the baseline. Dwayne Burden knocks home the jumper.
Well, he's made his first 2 shots, and that's a good news for him. Struggled a lot from the field.
South Dakota State started 0 for 9, but since then they are red hot. Jackrabbits have jumped. Mohamed Berthe can't hit 2 in a row. Burden on the wing. This time, left side jumper won't fall. Frias the rebound.
He was feeling it.
Berthe has his shot
foul?
rejected, but they're going to call a foul. Dwayne Burden thought he had a clean block, but he got a piece of the arm.
Well, it was pretty clean, except from the elbow, the wrist, the forearm, and the radius and all, and he almost took off. It was a good play.
Mohamed Berthe, he'll shoot 2.
So Berthe shoot a couple of free throws. The junior from Ivory Coast. Berthe spent the last couple of Winters in Ottumwa, Iowa, playing at Indian Hills Community College. They have a fantastic junior college basketball program there. A couple of subs coming back in. Ben Barron returns for the Jackrabbits. As Berthe.
What we've got here is two teams that have really settled in. I mean, they're beginning to run their stuff. Defensively, they look very good. I think we're going to have a very competitive game. I mean, it's 4 points right now. I don't expect either one of these clubs to run away and hide from the other.
Both these teams are independents. There are only 10 independent programs in all of Division I basketball. That includes over 300 Division I teams. It's somewhat of a rarity squaring off here at Rupp Arena.
I think we determined yesterday there are 329 teams eligible to play in the NCAA tournament, or at least for the NCAA title this year.
Ball goes out of bounds, trying to get the ball to Archibald. Foul is going to be called on Dwayne Burton. That is his second personal foul.
Watch it again. Nice move to the left side. Good feed of the post. Look at the double team. Then the move down the middle. Boy, that is good defensive work right there. Get your body in position. He's outside the arch that time. Was able to draw the charge. Didn't have both feet back inside. Otherwise, it would not have been a player control foul.
Scored a turnover. Burton has to go to the bench with those two fouls. Another whistle. That's going to the basket. It's Jose Frias. That one on Jeffries. So Darren Jeffries with two personal fouls.
Number 10, Jose Frias.
I'll talk about a change for Jose Frias. Just a year ago this time, he was counting change. He was working as a bank teller. Now he's playing Division I basketball at South Dakota State. He was at a bank in New York City, and now all of a sudden he's out of Brookings, South Dakota. Must wake up sometimes in the morning and say, what happened?
Well, it's a much better life right there. Nice cut to the basket. Good pass.
Heck of a pass inside. Archibald converts off a great feed from Jeffries.
Great steal by Jeffries. Oh, he couldn't hold on to it. Stepped out of bounds. Well, was that a terrific play by Darren Jeffries? Watch it again. Anytime you see a guy darting to the basket the way he has, a good quick cut, nowhere to go. Fortunate to have a release point right there, and he got it to the right man. Archibald in position to finish it off. I'll tell you what, Jeffries really plays well off of that bench for Northern Colorado.
Jeffries will sit down. He's got 2 points to go along with 2 fouls. He's replaced by Matt Klein. Barron looking for his first field goal. Gets it out. Cadwell a little bit short with a long jumper. And another whistle. Fighting for the loose ball. It's going to go against Ben Barron, I believe. No, it's on Matt Cadwell. Cadwell's first. There's Craig Rasmussen.
Pretty good block out by Tybee that time. He got in front of him, and Cadwell just reached over his back trying to get back to the ball.
Matt Klein, 3-year starter. Gets it inside. Archibald has been fantastic early. Much different start today for Archibald as opposed to yesterday when he struggled in the first half.
When he's got the basketball that deep in the post down there, he is going to attract a lot of defenders. They're double and triple teaming him down there. Watch this. Catch the ball. Here comes the offside help. He still is able to get through the 2 defenders, get it up and draw the foul. Kirk Archibald having another good night, much like he did last night.
Talking about the fact that there are only 10 independents in Division I basketball. That being said, Archibald was voted as the preseason independent player of the year.
I indicated last night he worked very hard in the off-season to get stronger, and he is a much better player this year than he was last year, at least in the early season.
Andre Gilbert back into the game after that nasty spill he had. That's good news for South Dakota State. Holdren, good rebound inside, misses from 2 feet. Trying to take the charge. Gilbert all over the floor. Gordy gets inside, uses power, and gets the bank shot to fall.
Nice catch. All you do is fill a lane. If you've got an open lane, take a look for the guy making the cut down that lane and give him the ball. It was a nice one. Nice open move.
Here's a steal. Matt Klein on the run out. Gets it over to Tybee. And Tybee can't hit the shot, but he was undercut. Blocking foul is going to be called, and Tybee will have a couple of free throws.
Eric, I got to tell you, the most important part of that move right there was Tybee not putting the ball on the floor. He caught that ball and immediately went up. I didn't think he had enough room to actually get to the rim. Watch this play again. He's going to make the catch from Klein. One quick step, and then he avoids the charge, gets the blocking call, and goes up, and he'll have a couple of free throws. Pretty impressive not to put the ball on the floor.
Cadwell has to leave with 2 personal fouls. Coming into the game, Mackenzie Casey, as well as Michael Loney for South Dakota State. Archibek leaves for Northern Colorado. He's replaced by Jared Lewis.
Archibek already with a good first half in points and rebounds.
Archibek 8 and 6 on his stat line, 8 points, 6 rebounds. Here comes Eric Olson. Eric Olson holds the distinction of being the only man on this floor who has played against Northern Colorado, or against South Dakota State. These two teams last met 3 seasons ago. He was just a freshman, and he played in that contest. Back then, both these schools were members of the North Central Conference, a Division II conference. Today, they're both playing Division I and playing at Rupp Arena. Things have changed for the fortunes of these two schools.
Venues do make a difference. They love playing here.
Nice Corey Lowe. Great pass inside. Olsen can't convert. Ball on the floor. Matt Dashford still loose, and we're going to have a tie-up. There are currently 5 guys on the floor after that basketball.
Good hustle down there. You know, it looked like a fumble, and all of a sudden everybody was diving into the pile to try to get the ball.
Who are they going to give it to? Possession arrow's going to keep it with Northern Colorado. Corey Lowe out to Klein. Olsen to Lewis. Gordy gets in the paint. Over to Lowe. Whistle. No bucket. Before the shot, the whistle blew, and we're going to have to get this one sorted out.
Inadvertent whistle.
It's an inadvertent whistle. Tough break.
Oh, that took a basket
Tough
away.
break.
I mean, they were in position to get a basket there.
Northern Colorado had 2. That's hard to swallow. Well, if they can get 3, they wouldn't mind.
Well, the referee probably feels like he should have swallowed it right now.
Klein misses from deep, but once again, ball's going to stay with the Bears.
You know, on occasion that happens. I've seen that happen a lot during the year. An inadvertent whistle, and the referee will blow something that's not there. And Carl Hess, a good official, and I know him well, just said, look, I made a mistake, and he went over and he corrected it. And unfortunately, it took a basket away from Northern Colorado.
Nice mistakes are always accepted. From the top of the key, Olsen a little bit long as he tried to beat the shot clock buzzer. Ball goes out of bounds, and this time, South Dakota State will have the basketball. Time to take a timeout. Craig Rasmussen's team, they're up by 4. Northern Colorado 20, South Dakota State 16.
Anaconda Sports.
Welcome back to Lexington, Kentucky. Northern Colorado on top of South Dakota State 20-16. That is Steve Holdren who has his shirt off. I apologize, no, it's Ben Barron who has his shirt off. He is being attended to. I think he has a bit of a scratch on his lower back. And they want to make sure that he is cleaned up before he gets back into the game. That is indeed Ben Barron. They need him out there. He was fantastic yesterday in a loss against Kentucky. Well, Northern Colorado, in case you're not familiar, they're from Greeley, Colorado. That's about 50 miles northeast of Denver. Enrollment about 12,000 and change. They're an independent program. Last year, playing that independent schedule, they were 8-21, but there were reasons for that. Craig Rasmussen's team, they really kind of ran the gauntlet. They were kind of everyone's patsy. They had to go into difficult venues and try and eke out victories, and it's not easy to do.
Well, I was sitting over there with him before the game tonight, and we were having a conversation about last night's game, about the season coming up, and he says, you know, it's really tough. It is very difficult to go through this transition. And I looked at him and I said, you know, one day this will all end, and you will be really happy at the end of that road. I mean, being a Division I team and playing for the NCAA championship will really be something important to your fans, to your students, to everybody at the school. And I said, you should be proud of the fact that you're going to be a part of all this.
And still giving the business to Holdren. He doesn't seem to mind. Hasn't missed a shot. From the free throw line, he is 2 for 2, and from behind the arc, he is 3 for 3. The only shot he missed was a layup inside.
Nice spin move. Good double down.
Low double team, swing it over the corner. Gordy, a little too strong. Rebound snatched down by Berte.
Berte's having another good night on rebounding. He had a good night last night. Had 9 rebounds in that game last night.
He's a thin guy, but he really grabs it with authority. Andre Gilbert steps inside the arc. Misses wide left. Loney, the rebound.
Loney didn't even look at the basket. Anybody on him who was 8 feet out.
Mackenzie Casey misses the pull-up. Loney, another offensive rebound. This time looks to the goal, and he is hacked. Go to the basket, my friend, and good things will happen.
Well, you know what? I think the first time he looked out there, threw it out, and he says, all right, let's go again. They shoot the ball, and he gets it again. He said, nope, no more, guys. I'm taking it back up this time.
I can do better than that.
Yeah. Once again, good hustle down here. He came up with this ball, good hands, held his pivot foot, drew the foul, has a chance to put a couple of shots in there and give his team 2 more points.
Loney from the land of rolling corn. He is native son of Iowa, from Humboldt, Iowa. As we see Kirk Archibek coming back into the game. He looks the part. Broad shoulders, 6'6", 230 pounds. He has a chance to be a real force down in the paint. One-point game. Northern Colorado with the basketball and the lead. Matt Klein picks up his dribble.
South Dakota State doing a nice job defensively. They're really fighting over the screens, doubling down well on the post, making it tough on the pass out too.
That was on Loney. That'll be his first in the team.
Foul is called down low. South Dakota State, how about this? Steve Holdren, without him, they'd be lost. Holdren, 11 points and 3 of 4 shooting. The rest of the team, they've missed 15 out of 16 shots.
And you know what? They're only 1 down.
Pushing foul is called, trying to get loose. They call it on
number 4, Corey Lowe.
Corey Lowe. Corey Lowe now has 2 personal fouls, much to the chagrin of Craig Rasmussen. Mackenzie Casey over to Berte. Gilbert up high. Wheels, nothing doing. Loney has it.
Good double in the corner,
team.
yeah.
Able to squeeze it out. And they're going to reset some offense with 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Casey's going to have to hurry. He fires, a little bit too strong. But Loney, how about that for an offensive rebound and a left-handed layup?
I think that's 3 straight offensive rebounds he's got. I mean, he's gone up on the glass. He's gotten 1 free throw out of 2 the last trip and a basket this time. Good offensive glass work that time by Loney.
Someone didn't read the scouting report. He likes to go to the glass on the offensive side. Corey Lowe gets it down to Archibek. And Archibek is fouled as he wheels to the basket. Loney, he has been a real surprise today.
Yeah, take a look at him again. Here he is. Here's the play right here. The shot by Mackenzie Casey right there comes back. Loney gets it and avoids the block by going to the opposite side with the left hand. He's going to get a little blow right now. Well, I'll tell you what, it's nice to have a guy that come off the bench like that and give you the rebounds that you desperately need to have in a game.
Loney with 4 rebounds to go with 3 points. He's on the bench now. Replaced by Andy Kleinjohn. Inside Michael Gordy, his first bucket, and he is fouled.
Oh, what a nice little shovel pass that time. Archibek turning around, just kind of laid it out there. And he says, here, big fella, take it up. Watch this. Turns around, says, you want it? Here you go. Right in his hands and off of the glass. Nicely done. Michael Gordy, the beneficiary.
Gordy, a sophomore from Denver's North High School. He's a prolific scorer in high school. Obviously opportunistic as he gets his own rebound off the missed free throw. Tybee guarded by Kleinjohn. Over to Gordy. Olsen looking inside, gets to Archibek. Spins in the paint, has it rejected by Berte, but he fights to get it back home.
You talk about tenacious. I mean, he does not give up. When he got rejected, he came right back again. It fell into his hands, and he went back up strong. Well, I like Archibek. I mean, he is a battler, a warrior down in that lane.
He's got a chance for a double-double here in the first half. He's got 10 points and 7 boards. Holdren once again getting the business. Has the ball knocked loose. Olsen with it. Trying to speed up the offense. Now they'll slow it down. Tybee peels inside. Great bounce pass. Archibek. Oh, he wants that one back. He misses from point-blank range. Berthe on the block. Working against Archibek. Spins. Drops it off to Barron. Looking for his first bucket, and he gets it. It's been a long time coming, but he finally knocks one home. He's now 1 for 8.
Interesting now, off of the night that he had last night where he got 25 points, I mean, was just devastating against Kentucky. He has really struggled tonight.
Wild pass thrown away by Matt Klein. Barron loops it over to Berthe, who loses it off the fingertips. Goes out of bounds, and the turnover will give the ball back over to Northern Colorado. The Bears up by 1. Here at Rupp Arena, basketball fans come in all shapes and sizes and hair colors. And they have seen a well-played basketball game, 2 evenly matched teams, Northern Colorado riding the broad shoulders of Kirk Archibek.
Like I said, this is his playroom down inside. Nice pass by Archibek right there, but usually when he gets it down in that position, he's going to go up strong. Finishes it off right there after getting it rejected already. 10.7 rebounds for the big center from Northern Colorado.
He is a big reason why Northern Colorado is dominating in the points in the paint category. The Bears with 14 points in the paint, South Dakota State with just 4. So a 10-point bulge. Ben Barron tries to hand it off to Jose Frias, almost kicks it away. Gilbert throws it up with the left hand, maybe out of control, but he is rewarded. They're going to give him a couple of free throws.
Pretty good spin move by Gilbert that time. You know, one thing that South Dakota State is doing an awful lot of, and it seems like they alternated in their possessions. When you watch them, they really get into their offense, and it's very good on the motion offense, but they're also good at one-on-one play, and as evidenced by the way Gilbert plays right here. They've got several guys that can go one-on-one, and Gilbert's one of them.
Makes the first. They call the foul on Eric Olsen. He's got 1 foul.
I want to see Gilbert dunk again. I'm telling you, he could fly through the air.
He had 2 of the highlight variety last night.
Wow.
One on a putback, the other one on an alley-oop. But you got to be fundamentally strong. He is at the free throw line, makes 2. Klein has it poked away by Frias. It'll stay with the Bears.
Eric, one of the things I really like to watch in the post position are guys who establish themselves down there to get ready to receive the pass. Archenbeck may be as good a player as you'll see this year at getting in position and asking for the ball. Don't ask for it until you're ready. And he does a good job of this. Look at him. See him get in that post position. He gets down low, ready to receive it. There, he got it again.
Great pass inside to him, but he misses from about 3 feet. Maybe they'll get a 3-pointer. A little bit strong. Tybee can't hit it. And the ball's going to go over to South Dakota State. In case you missed it last night, talking about the athleticism of Andre Gilbert. This is what he can do when given an opportunity. Off a miss. Comes out of nowhere.
Great follow right here. Look at that baseline. Came from the baseline. Ball comes over with the recognition of knowing where it's going to bounce, and the timing. Timing is so vitally important in getting up there with that one-handed grab and throwing it through.
Makes the fun of a 1-and-1. That reminded me of a poor man's Grant Hill tip dunk back in the Final Four a number of years ago when Grant Hill was playing for Duke. Kind of came out of nowhere. Have to go in the Wayback Machine for that one. Makes them both. That's 4 consecutive free throws made by Gilbert.
Well, it's a shame he hasn't been healthy throughout his entire NBA career. He's struggled really with his knees.
When healthy, Grant Hill was as good as they get. Inside, Archibek again. Finds great position, but he's blocked from behind by Berthe. Mackenzie Casey has numbers, calls his own number, and drops in the finger roll.
See that little look to the left he made right there? And they throw the ball away. Oh, Northern Colorado trying to get up in a hurry to get an easy one, and Sean Tybee just threw it out of bounds.
South Dakota State riding the crest of an emotional roller coaster. They've got momentum on their side now. We have a timeout on the floor. We'll be back in a minute.
This will be a full timeout.
We are here for the consolation game of the Lexington Regional and the Guardians Classic. South Dakota State, they've gone on a mini run. They're ahead of Northern Colorado by 5, 2:58 remaining first half. Stay tuned, everybody. ESPNU's coverage of college basketball continues with the Guardians Classic. Live from right here in Rupp Arena, the Lipscomb Bison. They meet the 10th-ranked Wildcats of Kentucky. The Guardians Classic on ESPNU. That is coming up at 8:30 Eastern. For more, as always, you can log on to ESPN.com. Well, South Dakota State starting to play a little bit, feeling confidence on both ends of the floor.
Archibald really in good position right there. But what about the block by Birdie? I mean, he has been strong off of the glass. Nice move right here. Watch Casey look to the left. Little head fake with that look to the left. Force the defense to maybe slow down and look to maybe where he was going to throw it, and he went straight to the rim with it.
And Mackenzie Casey, who makes that finger roll, is a very unique story. He is a Native American, member of the Oglala Sioux tribe. Grew up in Wounded Knee, South Dakota. Went to Red Cloud High School, which is in Pine Ridge Reservation. There are not too many Native American Division I basketball players, but he is one of the very few, a scholarship player at South Dakota State. He is a sophomore, 6 feet tall, but they think he is very creative with the basketball. They like him running the point.
Well, he was creative with that nice move down the lane that time, handling the basketball out in front.
Jose Frias picks up the loose ball. Gets it down to Mohamed Bertet. Junior college transfer, thought about it. Gets inside, head and shoulder fake. Before the shot, a traveling violation. So a turnover gives the ball back over to the Bears of Northern Colorado.
Good defensive work that time by Kirk Archenbeck. He really had Bertier retreating back on his heels, and he lost his balance. Picked up his pivot foot. Hey, Archenbeck plays really well on the defensive end as well as the offensive end.
Last night, Northern Colorado lost to Lipscomb by 12. On the steal, Gilbert. This time not so fancy, just lays it in. May have lost control of the basketball. This is the largest lead of the game for South Dakota State, up by 7. Trying to answer, Gordy flips it out to Klein.
Archenbeck again in good position to receive the ball.
Ooh, almost a steal there. Clean look. Klein comes up short, run down by Frias. Here comes Gilbert over to Casey. Frias bottled up, out to Barron. Barron with 25 points yesterday, just 2 this evening. Frias tied up, loses the ball, goes out of bounds, and it goes over to Northern Colorado.
I was talking about the defensive work by Northern Colorado. Archenbeck, again, with good defensive position, would not allow that baseline cut. Got his hands up and just kept the ball from getting in there, and they're going to get it back.
Archenbeck with 10 points and 7 rebounds, but also a stalwart defensively. His team trails by 7. Back in the game, that's Jared Lewis. Gives it over to Klein. Archenbeck wheels, throws up a wild shot. Missed. Gordy the rebound, over to Archenbeck, and again misses inside. That one may have been tipped.
I thought Barron got a piece of that.
Weren't paying attention. Barron gets it underneath the basket, and they have to foul him to keep him from making the layup.
Eric, 2 things very important here. Barron won on one end. It looked like he got a piece of that ball as Archenbeck was trying to get in position. And look who catches the ball at the other end after the block and drawing the foul. I mean, that's hustling down the floor. A good job by Ben Barron, who's not having one of his most stellar games. Not as good as at least as the one he had last night.
If the shot's not falling, you might as well beat someone down the floor. Makes the free throw. Barron just 1 for 8 from the field. Junior from Victor, Iowa. Just outside of Iowa City. Both free throws are good. As a team now, South Dakota State 14 of 18 from the free throw line. They attempted just 2 free throws yesterday, the entire game against Kentucky. Blocking foul is going to be called They're going to say it's Andre Gilbert. Didn't get his feet set.
Jared Lewis in good position. This is a young man who comes off of the bench for Northern Colorado. He kind of got that left knee out there a little bit extended, and I think that's the reason he got called for the blocking foul. Lewis with a chance for a couple of free throws here.
Jared Lewis, first free throw won't go, and that's all he's going to get. It was a one-on-one situation. So South Dakota has the basketball, but it's stolen away. Sean Tybee quickly for Northern Colorado. Sees an opening. Left-handed finger roll is short. Gordy fights, stripped away by Casey. Here comes Mackenzie Casey. Doesn't have numbers and doesn't have the basketball. He gets it taken away by Tybee.
Oh, what a spin
Lewis
move.
spins and drops it in.
Oh, yes.
How about that for the sophomore? And Scott Nagy doesn't like it. He wants to talk things over with 21 ticks remaining in the first half.
This might be the move of this entire tournament here in Lexington. Watch Jared Lewis on the baseline. Nowhere to go. I'll spin to the inside. Little 360 off of the glass. Ooh, how pretty that was.
Well, there is a reason, quite possibly, that Lewis has those skills with the ball in his hands. He is a first cousin of Sammy Winder, who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the NFL with the Denver Broncos. So obviously it's something in the genes, being able to do fancy things with the basketball or any ball in your hand.
As you indicated last night, a sprinter on the track team out there. Showed a lot of it right there. He was sprinting to the basket. Oh, that was a terrific move.
South Dakota State still up by 7. 21 seconds remaining. What is Scott Nagy thinking about for this final possession?
Well, all he wants right now is just simply to get in position, try to get something done in his final 22 seconds. Obviously, South Dakota State's got the basketball, and they can hold it for the last shot. I'm sure that's what he wants.
This is the first game of what will be 2 this evening here on ESPNU. From Lexington, Guardians Classic, the nightcap. Lipscomb, the Bisons, taking on the 10th-ranked Kentucky Wildcats. Should be a lot of fun. Hope you can join us.
Gotta go. Gotta go.
Casey taking his time. Gets it over to Barron. Will he beat the buzzer? He does. How about that? Probably not the way they drew it up, but it counts for 2 nonetheless. Barron gets the final bucket of the first half. And a big lead for South Dakota State as they go into the locker room. The Jackrabbits feeling good with the momentum on their side.
Well, this is a nice play right here. A good roll to the basket by Barron. He got it in time. Watch the light go off underneath. He gets it in with about a half a second to spare. A nice roll to the basket. More importantly, a good pass by Mackenzie Casey.
So, after 20 minutes, it is a 9-point lead for the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. We have halftime here. Stick around. Should be a lot of fun. We will talk to Tubby Smith, the head coach of Kentucky, when we come back. Jackrabbits have jumped out to a 9-point lead over the Bears of Northern Colorado. Second half, moments away from getting started here in the Lexington Regional. This is, well, one of 4 regionals going on throughout the country. This is the Lexington Regional. In the final, we will have Kentucky and Lipscomb. That game is coming up at about 8:30 Eastern time. The Iowa City Regional, that has gotten underway. Iowa taking on Maryland Eastern Shore in the nightcap tonight. The early game is Colorado and Utah Valley State, and Colgate and Utah Valley State. And Colgate out of the Patriot League, they're doubling their pleasure after 20 minutes of basketball. They're on top of Utah Valley State, 28-14. This Guardians Classic is a very special event. It is sponsored by the National Association of Basketball Coaches, the Guardians of the Game program, and there are 4 key values that they're trying to promote.
And obviously education being the top one right there. They're committed to the continuing education, development of their profession. The advocacy part of it is advocating the game of basketball. Leadership, providing moral and ethical leadership. And on the service end of it, the coaches really serve as community leaders, not just for their institutions that they represent and the players that they try to help, but also the communities that they live in. And it's a compliment to the 5,000 plus members of the NABC and their involvement with this particular tournament.
Craig Rasmussen looking on. His Bears trailing by 9. Trying to find some answers against the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. These 2 teams have met a number of times before, to be exact, 55 times before. South Dakota State with a 36-19 lead all time. But all of those matchups came when they were both Division II programs. They're now both Division I. They've never met as Division I opponents. Ball is knocked away from Ben Barrett. Good start for Northern Colorado. They have the basketball.
Dwayne Burden with good hands that time. He got him in there and got the ball away.
5 turnovers now for South Dakota State. Sorry, 10 turnovers for South Dakota State. Archibek inside, and he traveled with the basketball before he got the shot up.
I want to tell you what, if they put up a brick wall there, I think he'd find some way to go through it. I mean, he'd just find some way to get to the rim. It doesn't matter how many bodies are there. He's just going to find some way, put the ball on the floor, get it up there, or get fouled.
Same starting 5 in the game that began the game for South Dakota State. Loney throws it up in the left hand. Can't find it, goes out of bounds. Northern Colorado backcourt. Matt Klein, Sean Tybee. Also in the game, Dwayne Burden, Kirk Archibek, and Eric Olson. Archibek, skip pass is knocked away. Cadwell can't save it, stepped on the out-of-bounds line, and it'll stay with Archibek in Northern Colorado.
Pretty good extension by South Dakota State that time. They extended their defense and almost came up with a pass. It's a long pass to make across court when you've got a guy defending the wings the way that South Dakota State does.
Coming off a screen, Tybee has the basketball. He had a great game yesterday. He's been quiet offensively today. Klein,
good pass.
Over to Burton. Jump shot is short. Archibek offensive rebound. He was pushed as he grabbed the basketball. Loney with the personal foul, his 3rd.
Foul is on Loney. That'll be his 3rd and the team's first.
Well, we've talked about Kirk Archibek last night, tonight. Watch this right here. We isolate on him and give you some indication how hard he works. That's good position. You know, anytime you get underneath the basket like that, don't ever lose sight of the basketball. Did you notice that he was following the ball as it left the shooter's hand? He knew where it was. That's why he was able to get in position to get it.
Trying to inbounds the basketball. Archibek hits the ground hard. There goes Loney back to the bench. He has those 3 fouls.
Got his neck twisted a little bit right there as he was trying to come up with the ball.
Mackenzie Casey now in the game, over to Cadwell. And another quick whistle, offensive foul. They're going to call it on Mohamed Berthe, trying to get offensive positioning.
Well, Berthe trying to get inside when he was establishing that post position. Archibek already had the position. You cannot root the defender out of there once he's there.
2 fouls now on Berthe.
Good double, good switch, good help.
Another careless pass. Cadwell has it on the run out. Throws it up, hits the bottom of the rim, but he was fouled. Olson called for the personal, and Cadwell will have 2 free throws.
Eric, South Dakota State's doing an awfully good job defensively of guarding those wings. I mean, when that pass comes from the point or the top of the circle, look at this wing possession right here. Good steal and a good pickup. When you're going to the other end, watch Cadwell get it right there and get fouled. Just doing an outstanding job guarding those wings on that first pass coming from the top.
Cadwell has 5 points. All of them have come with the free throw line. Perfect 5 for 5. Darren Jeffries comes in the game, replacing Eric Olson. Cadwell now 6 for 6 from the stripe. Largest lead of the game.
Eric, I got to tell you, I think it's time for somebody for Northern Colorado to step up offensively. They cannot continue to go to Archibek. Somebody's got to be able to score.
Burden finds it. How about him stepping up?
Okay, he's the guy. They needed a basket from somebody else. Their offense really flows through Archibek, but you know, sometimes you can go to the well once too often. Find somebody else out there that can score.
Burden now with 6. Andy Kleinjohn gets it over to Barron. Defense being extended now for Northern Colorado. Barron with the dribble drive. Picks it up, spins, little floater, comes up short, gets his own rebound. Spits it out to Casey, and he'll reset the offense.
Nice offensive catch that time. He knew where the ball was going to be because he shot it, knew it was going to be short. Well, Northern Colorado has really picked up their defense. Much more intensity now, more ball pressure.
Casey gets inside, tries to dish to Berthe, has it knocked away. Pull up Tybee, Nothing but the bottom of the net.
All right, they've had two different guys score on the last two possessions for Northern Colorado. That helps their offense. You've got to spread it around.
Tybee now with 6 points. He had 20 yesterday. Kleinjohn looking for his first bucket of the season, and he gets it, and it's a 3.
Nice kick-out pass that time by Birdie to find him out there on the wing on the opposite side.
Checking in the lineup for the Jackrabbits.
Ball goes out of bounds, and we'll have a couple of substitutions. Holdren comes in. Kleinjohn goes out. Mackenzie Casey also goes out.
Nice hands right there. You could see the slap away. Archibald got his hand in there to slap it away. Nice pull up here by Tybee. It's not an easy shot to make when you're on the dead run and you're about 15 feet out, that mid-range jumper.
It's easy to clank it hard. Rejected inside. Berthe says hello and goodbye to the basketball. Burden has it knocked out of bounds by Berthe.
See what that does is send a message. Now Burden, the next time he thinks about going in there, he knows Birdie's going to be around. He may be somewhat reluctant to put it up.
Swinging it up high. They get it over to Tybee. Wheels it inside. Archibald back in the game. Picks up his dribble. Jeffries swings it to Klein. Off a screen. Tybee working against Cadwell. Gets inside. Can't get the roll, and a strong physical rebound for Berthe. Andre Gilbert working the baseline. Over to Barron. Holdren fans still remembering what happened last night. Here's the chorus of boos and a pushing foul underneath. It's going to go against Northern Colorado.
You can see that one coming. Matt Klein was out of position to try to get that rebound, and he simply pushed underneath that basket. It'll give South Dakota State the ball back again.
Matt Klein called for the personal. That is his second. He will leave. He's replaced by Jared Lewis. Klein goes to the bench. No points, but 6 assists.
That's what you want out of your guards, but you got to have some points too.
Gilbert gets it over to Barron. Head and shoulder fake, gets himself room, misses off the glass, and Holdren the rebound.
Well, they have kept the ball on this end of the court for some time now. Finally rewarded.
Jackrabbits continue to get good looks, and this time Gilbert hits it. He's got 8 points.
Good offensive rebounding that time by South Dakota State. Got him that basket.
Tybee,
good
great
pass.
feed, left-handed layup up and in for Archibald.
Well, Sean Tybee right there down the lane. Prototype guard pass right there to the big man.
Archibald with a cool dozen points. Berthe, they're just taunting him, wanting to take that shot. Gilbert, head shot rejected by Lewis, goes out of bounds, and it'll go to Northern Colorado.
I think they got the timeout called before he went out of bounds.
How about that? Jared Lewis ran it down, and an extra possession for the Bears of Northern Colorado. They're doing it on the defensive end, and maybe that energy will help them get back in this game. South Dakota State up by 10 over Northern Colorado. 2 independents playing here in the Lexington Regional, the Guardians Classic, the consolation game. Game number 2 will pit the Kentucky Wildcats. Their fans have already arrived here at Rupp Arena against the Lipscomb University, the Bisons of Lipscomb University. Kirk Archibald has it in the post for Northern Colorado. Gets it back. Long shot, Bird. How about that? He's starting to catch fire in the second half.
Well, Eric, it's like I said, they've got to have some other people than just Archibald scoring. If he can pick it up a little bit, Burden can make that shot. He made a couple in the first half. I mean, he needs to continue to do that because they need other people scoring.
Shooting percentage starting to improve for Northern Colorado in the second half. And they're starting to catch a couple of breaks, too. Pass goes out of bounds. The Bears have the basketball back, down by just 7. Scott Nagy's team not playing so great right now. We'll take a timeout. Welcome back to Guardians Classic Basketball. Lexington Regional, South Dakota State on top of Northern Colorado by 7. Wednesday night, ESPNU's coverage of college basketball continues with the Guardians Classic doubleheader live from Austin, Texas. At 6 o'clock, Sanford taking on Sacramento State. Then at 8:30, the Southern Jaguars taking on the 3rd-ranked Texas Longhorns. That's the Guardians Classic on ESPNU Wednesday evening.
That ranking is well-deserved for the Longhorns from Texas. They're going to have a solid club. Rick Barnes has really put together a good team this year.
Nice save, keeps the possession alive. Tybee did the saving, misses his jump shot. That would have been a heck of a possession for Tybee right there.
Foul is on Archibek.
Archibek is going to pick up this foul, but that's a nice move down inside. He just lost the handle. He's got a layup if he can keep control of it. It also cost him a foul.
So the ball goes back over to the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. Ben Barron over to Berthe, and another quick whistle. This one's going to go against the Bears of Northern Colorado.
Foul is on Lewis, his second, team fourth.
Foul's called on Jared Lewis. That's his second personal foul. Ben Barron working against Burton, gets it over to Holdren and knocks in the layup. Good play by two front court mates.
Well, I'll tell you what happened right there. Jared Lewis kind of went to sleep a little bit because Holdren blew right by him down that wing. It was a nice pass. Good delivery of the pass that time by Ben Barron.
Holdren leading the way with 13 points. Those are 13 points that have come off the bench for Scott Nagy's team. Tybee has the ball. Gets it to Burton. He's been hot in the second half, and that continues. Burton now with 11 points on 5 out of 8 shooting.
Tell you what, that could be a very positive situation for Northern Colorado to have him scoring from out there, because it really opens it up a little bit more for Archibek down inside.
Archibek is called for the travel. The fans here at Rupp Arena, they enjoy that. They are not a fan of Steve Holdren because of that skirmish she got into yesterday against Raquelin Sims of Kentucky.
Yeah, he had Sims in a headlock. Kind of WWF kind of headlock. You know?
Is there anything that Holdren could do to endear himself to the fans here at Rupp Arena?
No.
Archibek, he makes a shot off the backboard. Northern Colorado within 5. Archibek now with 5 points. I'm sorry, 15 points.
Tybee just committed a foul that time, a blocking foul, trying to get in position to draw a player control foul.
Checking in, number 30.
So Tybee will have to leave. Tybee with 2 personal fouls exits. Berthe again being asked to shoot that shot, won't take it, and a whistle stops play.
Foul is on Lewis, his third.
Another foul is called against Northern Colorado. Jared Lewis, his 3rd personal foul.
A lot of cutting going across that lane, not from the horizontal side, but just side to side. Lewis just simply reached out and grabbed a couple of times now.
Berthe has it, working against Archibek. Spins in the paint, and he is pushed on his way up. Archibek raises the hand. He picks up his 3rd personal foul, and will have free throws for Berthe.
There's one thing that these two clubs have done very well tonight, and that's feed the post. I mean, they're making it easy for these guys to receive the ball, and down in there, you know, it's a little bump on the off arm. Archibek disagreeing, but in college basketball, even if you get that arm extended with the offensive player who's shooting the hook, they're going to call the foul.
Berthe, a nice touch, makes the first free throw, and Archibek's going to have to be careful. With 12:49 remaining, he's got 3 personals. Back in the game comes Matt Klein. Going back out is Jared Lewis. He's got 3 fouls. So fouls becoming an issue for both teams.
Yeah, South Dakota State has made a living at the free throw line tonight. It's what's kept them in this game. It's what kept them in this lead.
They have now shot 22 free throws, making 18 of them. Klein over to Bird. From the corner, up and good. Darren Jeffries. 4-point game. Northern Colorado knocking on the door.
Nice move by Jeffries. Again, good defensive work, too.
Baseline shot. Berthe thought he was feeling it. Instead, he misses, and a personal foul is going to go against South Dakota State on the battle for the rebound.
Well, anytime you can get the 3-point shooting, you need to open up that inside. Look for your guards. Jeffries with a rainbow right there in front of his bench, and he gets an applause and a little pat on the back from his coach.
And last foul is on Andre Gilbert. He's got 2. Northern Colorado getting back in this game, and that bucket counts, and the run continues. Archibald with the bucket and a free throw coming up.
Well, all of a sudden, Northern Colorado has caught fire. I mean, they're beginning to play on both ends of the court. Their defense has been very good, and their offense is beginning to spread the points around, and now they go back to that well that they've gone to so often in these 2 nights of play. Kirk Archibald getting it off the glass and the chance for a 3-point play.
Archibald at the line. 1.
Berthe picks up the foul. He's got 3, so he goes and grabs the seat on the bench. And Archibald can't convert the 3-point play. Loney back in the game, gets the rebound. Five players, 3 on one side, 2 on the other, with 3 personal fouls. Fouls becoming an issue. Andre Gilbert up high. Gets in the paint, spins, and a wild shot misses high off the glass, and we'll have a tie-up. Possession arrow is going to give the ball over to Northern Colorado. We'll take a timeout. 11:40 remaining in this game. The consolation match of the Guardians Classic here in Lexington. Northern Colorado, they are coming back with a vengeance. Kentucky Wildcat fans starting to file in. They're getting pensive, getting excited for the nightcap of this doubleheader here at the Guardians Classic in Lexington. And this first game, well, it's shaken down pretty nicely. Kirk Archibald in Northern Colorado, they're starting to shoot better here in the second half. 67% as opposed to just 27% for South Dakota State. That's a big reason why this is just a 2-point game.
Well, Archibald leading the way, and of course Dwayne Burden in the second half, and some pretty good shooting by Darren Jeffries has gotten them back in this game.
Illegal screen is called. They're going to call it on number 21, Dwayne Burden. Burden now with 3 personal fouls. Mackenzie Casey back in the game, running the point for the Jackrabbits. Loney with the drive, backdoor cut, trying to get it to Holgren, and the pass is stolen away. Olsen has it, throws it out of bounds, and it's going to go to Northern Colorado. Someone tipped it on the way out of bounds, and so the Bears have the basketball, down by just 2.
Well, this could be a big possession right here for them to tie this basketball game after being down as many points as they have been in the second half. I think they got it down as far as 12.
Klein gets it, throws it over. Olsen, head and shoulders fake. Jeffries, Olsen, Burden.
Going up.
Picks it up from 16 feet, clanks it. How about that for a tip in? Eric Olsen caught it in midair, sinks it off the glass. We are all tied up. Olsen picks a good time to get his first bucket of the game.
Outstanding play.
Last possession wasn't pretty for Northern Colorado, but the result was.
Yeah, but watch the Bears right here. You'll see the shot taken by Burden. Look at that follow right there by Eric Olsen. I tell you, that's not easy to do. Most guys just want to get the rebound, pull it down, and then go back up. He just stayed in the air and let it go before he came down to the floor.
Offensively, Olsen just picks up his 3rd personal foul. Now his 4th personal foul, and he will have to leave. So that is a developing story. He's replaced by Sean Tybee. Olsen's someone they count on for leadership. He is a 4-year starter. 1-on-1 situation for Steve Holgren, sophomore from Champaign, Illinois. Jackrabbits take a 1-point lead.
Holgren obviously playing much better tonight than he did last night when he went 2 for 11. He got those 3 threes in a row to kind of get South Dakota State rolling.
Splits the pair. Here come the Bears. Klein, cross-court pass to Tybee. Tybee forces the issue, and a foul is called. That's going to be against Tybee. They call it a charge.
That's player control foul. Really no place for him to go. You'll see the play right here. Good move. He gets around his man, but terrific position down the inside by Loney.
That's now 3 fouls for Tybee. Cadwell feeds the post. Loney, sophomore, picks up his dribble and travels with the basketball. Another turnover for the Jacks. That's turnover number 16. Scott Nagy, he has seen better days. He wants his team on the same page. Right now, not necessarily in sync. Burden, he's been hot in the second half, and he continues to scorch.
You know, some guys just begin to get comfortable with the place they're playing in. Last night, I was watching Burden shoot, and he was not comfortable shooting the ball last night. Tonight, it's a different story.
Burden, 8 points yesterday, 13 points tonight.
That is his first team fifth.
Well, Dwayne Burden is really beginning to pick it up offensively. You can see right here, here's a good long-range jump shot. Good pass here by Archibald outside, and Burden buries one, and then on the baseline, another one. Now, all of those have been in the second half. One of the reasons that they've been able to whittle in and take the lead against the South Dakota State club.
Burden 3 for 12 yesterday, 6 for 10 tonight. Again, Burden. A little bit too far for the lefty. Misses. Cadwell the rebound. Jackrabbits down by 1, and they won't get a shot on this possession. They have to give it back. A foul, trying to get position down low.
It's the second time in a row that South Dakota State has gotten down on a possession and had an offensive foul called against them. You know, you got to get in position to be able to set your offense, but then get ready to run it. Committing offensive fouls and giving the team back, the opposing team, the ball back.
Darren Jeffries over to Tybee. Loses the ball. Turnover. Here comes Cadwell on the run out. One man to beat, and Klein slaps him across the wrist. So Cadwell thought he had an opportunity, but Klein picks up the third personal foul, and we'll have free throws.
Well, I'll tell you the one thing about South Dakota State, they're in great position here to get back in this game because they're going to be shooting free throws. They're going to be shooting 2 now every time they go to the line.
9 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in this game, and every time a foul is committed against Northern Colorado, there will be 2 free throws for the Jackrabbits, so that is a big advantage. Darren Jeffries leaves. He's replaced by Jared Lewis.
Well, Craig Rasmussen has really substituted freely in this second half.
Cadwell now 7 for 8 for the free throw line, and we're all knotted up. It's as if we never started. Played 31 minutes of basketball, and we're right back where we started. Lewis shuffles the feet. Turnover. Jackrabbits ball.
You know, oftentimes you put yourself in a position like that, you got to be able to have somebody to release the basketball to. He had no one to throw the ball to. So there he was in a position, and he tried to pull up his dribble, and he drug that pivot foot.
Barron has a great position. Double team comes, and he's forced to double dribble.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, South Dakota State has had some bad possessions in the last minute and a half. Offensive fouls, turnovers. Scott Nagy is probably complaining to his assistants right now, who are turning a deaf ear and don't want to hear it. They're just agreeing.
Don't know what you can do with some of these turnovers that they've had. This carelessness with the basketball. Tybee misses, falls to the ground. Burke picks up the offensive rebound. Loose ball, Tybee. Too strong, gets his own rebound and loses it out of bounds. It'll go to South Dakota State. Folks, this is not pretty.
No, it isn't. The last 2 minutes has just been, looks like a game in the backyard. Tybee that time lost the ball. He kind of centered it through his legs, and it rolled out of bounds. See, South Dakota State can get back some rhythm here on offense. I got to tell you, Northern Colorado's done an awfully good job defensively of pressuring them. They've got good pressure on the ball, tough on the wings, and making it hard to get the ball back inside in the post position.
Aldrin up high. Shot clock down to 10. Takes a long shot. Not going to hit that shot too many times. Here come the Bears. Klein gets inside. Lewis Can't get the shot off because we're going to have another foul. This one goes against Northern Colorado. The sloppiness continues. Who will settle down first? It's a 48-48 tie, 7:38 remaining. 48-48 tie, 7:38 remaining in this game. The consolation contest, the Lexington Regional of the Guardians Classic. Stay tuned, everybody. We have more basketball coming your way. ESPNU's coverage of college basketball continues with the Guardians Classic live right here in Rupp Arena. It's Lipscomb, the Bisons, taking on the 10th-ranked Wildcats of Kentucky. The Guardians Classic on ESPNU. That's coming up 8:30 Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Here in this game, South Dakota State trying to make a name for themselves in front of the Big Blue Crazies. South Dakota State just making the transition to Division I. Up to this date, probably the most famed athlete to come out of South Dakota State is a football place kicker. Adam Vinatieri played for the Jackrabbits football team. Now, of course, the all-everything kicker for Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots.
He's done some good work the last 5 or 6 years.
Oh, yeah. Kind of dubious when the best athlete can come out of your school is a kicker, but that's the case. Ball stripped away, another turnover, gives the ball back over to the Bears. That's now 20 turnovers for South Dakota State.
So things have gone the other way for South Dakota State. They have not played well in this last 3 or 4 minutes. Northern Colorado has really picked it up.
Loney grabs the rebound. Loney now with 6 rebounds to his credit. Barron has been fairly quiet after a monster game yesterday. Loses the ball, goes out of bounds, and no, we haven't seen this before. Another turnover for South Dakota State.
Yeah, but I had to give Michael Gordy a lot of credit there. I mean, he jumped out and really forced the issue that time and to knock the ball away, get the turnover, and get the ball back for Northern Colorado. With a little inattention to detail right there has been Barron. I don't know what he was thinking because he had him all over him right there. He was standing there ready to take it away. Michael Gordy with a good defensive play.
Right now, Northern Colorado playing with 2 guys with 4 fouls. Eric Olson, who's got the ball in the shot, he's got 4 fouls as he misses. His backcourt mate, Matt Klein, also with 4 personals.
South Dakota State needs something positive to happen. That's not it.
Barron misses the quick 3. Here comes Klein. Got to be careful with those personal fouls. Pulls up and hits it from the elbow extended. 2-point lead for the Bears.
Well, Matt Klein's got a nice little mid-range jumper, doesn't he? I mean, he puts it on the floor and can pull up on a dime.
Loney over to Barron. Another quick shot. This one too strong. Gordy has it stripped away by Barron. Gets it out to Holdren.
Nice hustle that time by Ben Barron to come up with the ball.
Extra possession for the Jackrabbits. Coming off a screen. Casey gets it over to Loney, over to Barron. This time he hits it.
Better ball movement. They got into the flow in their motion offense that time, and a good pass out got him the basket.
Barron now with 8. He had 25 yesterday. 100 points total scored in this game, evenly divided. Klein has it, looking for Archibald. Double team.
Well, he's going to see a lot of that this year. You know that? They got the steal.
Has it knocked away by Cadwell. Loose ball. Gordy after it. He is pushed out of bounds by Barron. Personal foul called on Barron as Gordy goes falling to the floor.
Nice hustle again by Gordy to come up there with that basketball. He made a nice hustle play down on the other end to get the defensive steal, and right here gets pushed out of bounds and he took a tumble right there.
So now in the bonus.
Some poor fan got a size 14 in his nose right there.
Gordy will shoot.
Tell you what, they got tough fans though sitting around the sidelines here. I mean, they can handle it.
Sure, why not? Tougher than me. We almost had someone come into our labs earlier today and I was terrified.
Were you bailing out?
I was. Glad you didn't notice them. Gordy hits the first. Makes them both. Let's see if South Dakota State can answer. Down by 2. They have just 4 field goals in the second half.
Well, they have gone ice cold. They cannot buy a basket.
4 field goals with 12 turnovers. That's a recipe for disaster.
And yet they're only down 2.
Yeah. Olsen, guarded by Casey. Now tries it along the baseline. Hits Tybee off a screen, gets inside, a little runner, partially blocked. Archibek throws it up, can't find it. Loney, strong rebound. Out to Holdren. Here come the Jacks. Holdren on the wing, knocks it in. 5 field goals now in the second half.
Nice
for
hesitation.
South Dakota State.
That was a good hesitation move by Holdren that time. He looked around to see if anybody was coming down as a delay break, and nobody there, and he just simply went on and took it to the glass.
Holdren, the only man in double digits for South Dakota State. He's got 16. Archibek has it, and again, the double team comes. Tybee, high archer, misses everything. Gordy, offensive board, misses the putback. Loney, another rebound. He has been a world beater down low with the rebounds. Barrett,
What a nice
look.
touch pass by Holdren. That's 2 good possessions in a row now for South Dakota State.
We are underneath 4 minutes. Things getting tight. Craig Rasmussen wants to talk things over. His Bears have had a couple of lapses defensively, and he wants to tighten things up. Make sure they're all on the same page as they go forward and finish out this game.
Take a look again. Nice pass forward right here. You can see the look up the floor. Cadwell gets it up there, and a quick release. Barron gets it inside, and there's Holdren to finish it off. Excuse me, that was Barron that finished it off.
Both these teams looking for victory number 1 here in the 2005-2006 season. South Dakota State, they lost last night against Kentucky, a very good Kentucky team. No shame in that. They lost 71-54. And in that other huddle, Northern Colorado, they lost yesterday to Lipscomb, 72-60.
I'll tell you what, it's been a very strange game. I mean, we sit there and witness the fact that South Dakota State was able to build a 12-point lead in the second half, and then they couldn't do anything right. They turned the ball over. They took ill-advised shots. Northern Colorado just stayed with their knitting and continued to plug back, and led by Sean Tybee and a number of players in this second half. They've kind of spread the wealth.
Tybee shooting 40% from three-point line on the year. Unfortunately, it's 4 for 5 last night and 0 for 5 tonight. Timeout on the floor. Loose ball goes out of bounds. 3:36 remaining. Up by 2. South Dakota State trying to hold on. Welcome back, everyone. South Dakota State 54, Northern Colorado 52, and Northern Colorado, not only are they down by 2, but they're in some deep foul trouble. Olsen and Klein both with 4, one personal foul away from elimination, and then 4 other players, all with 3. So Craig Rasmussen has to be very cognizant of the personal foul situation over the remaining 3.5 minutes. Careless pass, another turnover, gives it back over to Northern Colorado. Field goal and tie it up.
Pretty alert move that time by Eric Olsen to come up with that steal.
Olsen was wide open, chose not to take the shot. Burton not so bashful. Gets his own rebound, spits it back out. Loose ball picked up by Tybee. Cross-court pass. Darren Jeffries to Olsen to Burton. Back over to Tybee. Archibek has it. Double team comes, gets it back out. Tybee again struggles from outside, but Archibek gets the rebound and gets fouled.
The ever-present Kirk Archibek. I mean, he's always around the basketball. He always seems to come up with it when it's somewhere around that rim on misses. Even when it's short, he seems to be able to come up with the basketball, and now he's back at that free throw line. Is he back to a double-double again?
Yes, he is. 16 points, 12 rebounds. He's stuck on 16 points, misses the front end.
He had 16 and 10 last night.
Loney, 1 foul away from being disqualified. So the Bears within 1. And a foul. No, a travel in the backcourt. Cadwell. He was pressured back there. Darren Jeffries forces him to turn the basketball over.
I think Cadwell was a little surprised that Jeffries was standing on top of him when he turned around to put the ball down. He was right there in his lap and couldn't get rid of it.
Turnovers have been a problem for both sides. Take a look at those numbers in the second half. It has been sloppy, make no bones about it. Combined 23 turnovers. South Dakota State has been the bigger offender with 13 of those miscues. But they are up by 1. Archibald tries to go through the double team and throws it away. Gilbert over to Holdren. Holdren creates space and knocks in the layup.
Terrific pass that time by Andre Gilbert.
18 points now for Holdren.
Well, Holdren really filled that lane well, too.
Quite a turnaround from yesterday's performance. Jeffries along the baseline has it cut off, and he simply charges through. Personal foul for Jeffries.
Let's go back and take a look at the break by South Dakota State. You can see right here Andre Gilbert with the ball at mid-level or mid-court. Then he takes the move inside as he gets the ball to Holdren, who's filling that left side. He goes right off of the glass. You're right, Eric. He's really had an awfully good game tonight, much better than what he had last night.
Just 5 points for Holdren last night against Kentucky. 18 tonight. Looking for 20. Can't get it. Too strong. Loney misses on the putback. Ball knocked out of bounds. And another foul. This time it's going to be called against South Dakota State. Not sure who they got. They're pointing.
Foul is on Loney.
Loney. That is his 5th. So Scott Nagy will have company on his bench. Loney will have to exit the game. He'll be replaced by Mohamed Berthe, who's getting some final instructions.
Loney with an awfully good game tonight off of the glass. His rebounding has been outstanding, but only 3 points.
He had 9 rebounds. A lot of them of the offensive variety. He will be missed. So we'll have free throws from Eric Olson, the senior from Boulder. One-on-one situation. Dips, flips, he'll have another. Any explanation for that?
None. Except that South Dakota State is just taking the ball, and Northern Colorado got the miss on the rebound.
That just kills. Burton for 3, too strong. Another offensive rebound for Archibald. They swing at the corner, head and shoulders fake. Tybee tries to dish it off to Archibald, and it's knocked out of bounds by the big fella. Turnover gives it over to the Jackrabbits. Offensive rebounding has been a big advantage for Northern Colorado.
They have done a great job on the offensive end. We're down to it now. South Dakota State with a 2-point lead. You got to start looking and make sure you put the ball in the hands of the guys who can get it done. Not that way.
Ball goes out of bounds. Barron lucky to get the basketball back for South Dakota State.
Barron had nowhere to go on that baseline. You know, this is where all that work you do in October and November really begins to pay off. I mean, you run your offenses. We sit and watch teams practice all day long. They run their offense. Now is when you really begin to execute and get what you practice.
Cadwell up high, guarded by Burton. Over to Gilbert. Toss it over to Holdren. Shot clock down to 5. Holdren's going to have to force the issue, and he draws the foul.
Good cut to the basket.
Archibald called for the personal, his 4th.
Watch again. Look at that move with the left hand. Holdren going down the lane. I tell you, Archibald looked like he had pretty good position there. Nope, he moved. You could see the last little second there. He moved to his right, and that's why the blocking foul was called. Kirk Archibald with his 4th personal foul.
So Archibald, now one of 3 Northern Colorado Bears with 4 personal fouls. Just a whisker under a minute to play. Holdren will have 2 very important free throws. Rips the first one through. Matt Klein back in the game, replacing Darren Jeffries. Coming up after this game, we'll have the 10th-ranked Kentucky Wildcats working against the Lipscomb Bisons right here on ESPNU. Holdren misses the second. Ball fought for, goes out of bounds. And it stays with South Dakota State. How about that for a break?
Well, Birdie was trying to hustle over there to try to come up with a basketball, and he and Olsen sort of collided on the sideline. South Dakota State will get the ball back.
30-second timeout. Craig Rasmussen is trying to drop some defense, and Scott Nagy will drop some offense. Now the folks back in Brookings, South Dakota, they would love to have a victory in this game. Scott Nagy would love to bring them home one. Stay tuned, everybody. Bottom of the hour, ESPNU's coverage of college basketball continues with the Guardians Classic live from Rupp Arena. The Lipscomb Bisons meet the 10th-ranked Wildcats of Kentucky. That's the Guardians Classic right here on ESPNU, coming up at 8:30 Eastern Time.
You know, you really got to milk this 35 seconds right now, but South Dakota State has got to find a way to get a good shot at the basket. They have really faltered in the second half tonight with turnovers, with ill-advised shots. Their offense just seemed to go away for about 8 or 10 minutes, and then they got it back. I'll tell you what, you got to credit Barron and Holdren with really carrying the load for them down the stretch here. Those are the two guys that I would look at. Wins
are a lot like cologne, covers up a lot of stink. There's been a lot of stink in this game, but they would love to get a W. Forget all the mistakes that you made. You can just pick up a victory.
Use some time, but don't get that 5-second call against you.
3-point lead for the Jackrabbits. Holdren being guarded tightly by Olsen. Still trying to burn off some clock. Holdren gets it over. Cadwell, redshirt freshman from St. Paul. Shot clock down to 7, and they call a foul, a holding call on Darren Jeffries up high.
You know, that's not when you want the foul. When you've got 8 seconds left and you have battled on that shot clock to get it from 35 to 8, and you've got that guard that far away from the basket, that's when you really play your straight-up defense. You got a chance to get the ball back.
And this is the man that the Jackrabbits want on the free throw line. He has been pretty darn good at the stripe today. 7 for 8. Make it 8 out of 9.
That was no accident that he had the ball in the last 10 seconds either, because he is an excellent free throw shooter and a handler of the basketball.
Jeffries leaves, replaced by Matt Klein. In the game for South Dakota State, Mackenzie Casey just checks in. For Mohamed Berthe. Cadwell can't hit them both. Missed the second. It's a 4-point game. Bears of Northern Colorado, they've got to hustle. Klein picks up his dribble. There's confusion for the Bears. Archibek. Inside, wide open. Olsen gets the layup, and they call timeout. How does that happen?
Well, Sean Tybee with a bullet pass down inside. He threw a laser right underneath the basket for an easy layup. And now Northern Colorado's got to do something on a defensive stop. Little Archibek out there, he couldn't find anybody. Now the roll to the inside, oh, there's where it happened right there.
Not a good time to fall asleep defensively.
Well, you can see what happened right there. Matt Cadwell was the guy that fell asleep down on the baseline. A good turn inside and a good pass again by Tybee.
Now this is what we have going on. No more timeouts for Northern Colorado. South Dakota State, they still have 3. Should there be a tie ball or tied up possession, it would be possession arrow favoring South Dakota State. What would you do defensively right now if you're Northern Colorado?
Well, you got to find somebody to foul. If the ball comes in, if they cannot get the steal, you got to find somebody to foul. But it cannot be Cadwell. I would not go after him.
Gilbert will trigger the inbound.
Deny the ball. Just deny it. Oh, he's got it now.
Cadwell has it. He'll go down to the other end and shoot free throws. 8 out of 10 so far this evening from the free throw line for the redshirt freshman.
He did miss his last one.
Darren Jeffries has just fouled out. He uses his 5th foul trying to whack Cadwell.
Well, the situation right now for South Dakota State, if Cadwell can make both of these free throws, come out and press, play a little position defense. Don't try to make any steals, but don't give them a good look at the basket because they need 2 baskets if he can make both these free throws.
Craig Rasmussen using this time with the player being disqualified. to talk things over about what he wants to do should there be a miss.
By the way, it's a change in the rules this year. They have reduced the amount of time that a coach has to put a player back in after someone fouls out. It used to be 30 seconds. It's now 20.
What do you think about that?
It's fine. I don't know why a coach would have to take 30 seconds to get a guy in anyway. They know pretty much who they're going to put in. Well, here we go. These are the big free throws right here.
South Dakota State, they have dominated in terms of trips to the free throw line. Cadwell will shoot the 31st and 32nd free throws. He makes the first, no problem.
Here's the big one right here.
Remember, just yesterday, South Dakota State shot just 2 free throws the entire game against Kentucky. So they have changed their fortunes around in a big way. Cadwell makes them both.
You got to come out and press. Come down. Make him eat up some time, dribbling the ball up the floor.
Klein crosses the timeline. Long shot. Hits the 3. 1-point game. 4 seconds remaining. Barron gets it to Cadwell. That's the man they want, and he'll go to the free throw line. Yeah, there's no fight in Northern Colorado. They're making this a game, but time not on their side. Kirk Archibek has just fouled out, trying to grab Cadwell going the other way.
Go back and take a look at this big 3-point field goal. Good pass to the right side. Klein gets it to the right man. Sean Tybee with a long-range 3, and it's a 1-point game. Cadwell back to that free throw line again, where he has made 3 of his last 4.
So Cadwell will have 2 free throws. He has made a living at that free throw line, 10 out of 12. And Sean Tybee, a big shot for him. He's only made 1 3-pointer, but it came at the right time, right when they needed it. Making it a 1-point game. They still haven't a chance to win this game, but Cadwell has a chance to widen the lead right now. He's on the free throw line with Kirk Archibek fouled out with those 17 points and 14 rebounds.
Well, Cadwell could be the big hero right here. Ooh. Now that 3 could win. I'm not too sure I would just go ahead and miss this one.
Northern Colorado with no timeouts. 2-point game.
It's got to go up quick.
Jared Lewis over to Klein for the win. Oh, just off the mark. And how about that? South Dakota State, they hold on. And Scott Nagy's club, the Jackrabbits, pick up their first win of the season by a whisker. Closer than they wanted it to be. They win by 2. 61-59 is the final. So congratulations to the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. After losing last night in the game, they played fairly well against the Kentucky Wildcats. They come back and they get a W against Northern Colorado. Craig Rasmussen's team disappointed. They thought they played well enough to get the win, but they fall by just 2 points, and they are now 0-2 on the season. Kirk Archibek had a monster game, 17 points and 14 rebounds, but it wasn't enough. Well, consolation game of the Lexington Regional of the Guardians Classic comes to a close. The Jackrabbits beat the Bears 61-59. Coming up in about 30 minutes time from Rupp Arena, we'll have the 10th-ranked Kentucky Wildcats taking on the Bisons of Lipscomb University. Stick around to ESPNU. This has been a presentation of ESPN.